everybody, Joey here from PhotoshopHowTo. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a photorealistic planet in Photoshop. As you can see here, I've got the finished product. It looks very real, and once you get an actual realistic background to it, it's going to stun people when they see it. So what you're going to do first is, I'm going to close this obviously. Now, first you're going to go to File, New, and you're going to open up a 5000 by 5000 pixel document. That's very important because you're going to need a big document, because once we spherize, it's going to lose a lot of its quality, and we're going to need to lower it down and then to retain the quality. So we need to make sure that's big. Next, select your texture. I'm going to be using a satellite image of the Philippines in March. Now, I personally think that satellite images are the best because they are the most realistic, because they are real. You can use whatever you'd like, virtually anything works. Now, as you can see here, the image is cut off. So what I'm going to do is Control J to copy it, and I'm going to go to Image, Transform, and I'm going to go to Flip Horizontal. And then I'm going to drag that over here to create a mirror image. That doesn't really matter, because once you do that, or once you spherize it and make the planet, the mirror is going to disappear and you won't be able to tell that it was ever mirrored. That, or it's covered with shadow. And you're going to Control J it to merge them. Now you're going to grab your elliptical marquee tool, and you're going to get about a centimeter from the top left corner, and you're going to click, and you're going to hold shift and drag to about a centimeter from the bottom right corner. That way we have a perfect circle. Now you're going to right click, select inverse, and press delete on your keyboard. Right click again and select inverse to reselect your sphere. Make sure you do that, otherwise things might go wrong. Sorry if I'm talking fast, but I only have 10 minutes. Now go to filter, distort, and then you're going to go to spherize. Now make sure that it's at 100% and then click OK. This might take a while depending on your computer's RAM and CPU and other requirements such as that, but just wait for it to finish. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, now as you can see here, mine is done. It's completely spherized, and it somewhat looks like a round ball now. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to Filter and Spherize, and we're going to do it again at 100% and spherize it again. That way it looks more like a ball and not just something random. Okay, now that we have our actual texture, we're going to go to File, New, and open up a document that you're going to be using the planet on. I'm going to open up a 1000 by 1000 picture document, or pixel document, and I'm going to open it. Now I'm going to drag a separate window for my planet here. I'm going to grab my Move tool, and I'm going to cut it out and bring it onto my new document. Now, as you can tell, or first of all, I suggest you keep the planet minimized just in case you run into problems. You still have the texture. Now, as you can see, the quality here is very, very low, and it's, in Layton's terms, terrible. So what you're going to do is Control T to transform it, and then you're going to hold Shift and drag the corner upwards. And now, basically, you're going to do this over and over again until you get a planet of your liking of size. Now, you don't want it too big and you don't want it too small, depending on what you're making. If you're making a moon, then you make it small. And if you're doing the type of thing that covers half the document, then yeah. But I'm just going to be making a planet in the middle of the document, just nice and simple for everybody to see. Yeah. Now I'm going to shift click it a little bit more, and here we go. Here's our planet. Now, double click it to apply the transformation. And then, now what you're going to do is make a new layer, put it under the planet, and paint it black. That's just for your background for now. You can add in whatever you want later on. Now, on the planet layer, you're going to duplicate it, and you're going to select it. And now what you're going to do is you're going to paint it completely black. We are going to be using this for your shadow. Now you're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Put it at about 50%. Now deselect your planet and drag it down, Well, first what you're going to do before you Gaussian blur it, deselect your planet and then Gaussian blur. That way you don't get a ring effect. and now you're going to drag it downward to whatever position you'd like depending on lighting. I'm going to put it right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate my planet layer again. I'm going to select it by control clicking the preview image, and I'm going to color the whole thing black again. Just make sure that's completely black, and then you're going to deselect it. And now you're going to go to, and now you're going to right click the layer, and you're going to go to blending options, and you're going to go to outer glow. And now, considering that my planet is nice and well, it has ocean and land and stuff like that, I'm gonna make my atmosphere a light blue color. Now if it's like a desert planet, you're gonna want to make it somewhat of, say, a reddish. Now copy the color code down here that you're gonna use. Now crank the opacity all the way up to 100% and raise the size just a little bit, but not too much. And now click OK. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go to inner glow, and you're going to double click the color and paste in the code that you took from your outer glow. Then you're going to raise the size all the way up to 250 and click OK. And now you're going to set your layer to screen, and there's your photorealistic planet. It looks perfectly photorealistic. I will be showing you how to do other lighting effects later on in other tutorials, but so far this is your planet. It looks pretty photorealistic depending on your textures and how you did everything. As long as you followed my instructions, then your planet is going to turn out perfect. Now just add in a setting on the background and it looks just fine. I'm going to put a link to this in the description of my video, that way you can see a full res picture of what the ending result will look like. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, leave comments or messages, and thank you for watching my tutorial. Goodbye.